There's that many books here, I can't even get them all in frame. These are all of the books I am planning on reading in September. Hello my friends, my name is Michaela. Welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk about all things thriller books. Today we are going to be speaking about all of the books that I'm planning on reading in September, and I can't believe we are in September because I get married this month. This is the month I'm getting married. Do you know how long I've waited to say that? And you might be thinking, Michaela, that was a lot of books that you showed at the beginning of the video. You are getting married this month. You are going to be a busy girl, and to that I say you are right. But I am also going on a 2-week honeymoon where I'm planning on reading a book a day because, like, we've just got married. Amy's not going to want to talk to me, right? So strap in because it's going to be a long one. Let me tell you about all of the books I'm planning to read in the month I get married. Okay, the first book I want to speak to you about is not a thriller book, but I have been saving this book just for when I get married, okay? And it is Emily Henry, Book Lovers. Something you might not know about me is I am actually a huge Emily Henry fan. This isn't the only Emily Henry that's in this stack, actually. I've only just realised that. Now, I'm not a romance girl, and I'm especially not a straight romance girl. Like, I'm a lesbian. If I'm going to read a romance book, it will usually be like a lesbian romance. But Emily Henry and Ashley Poston are probably the only exceptions to that rule. And the reason I have been saving Emily Henry Book Lovers is because I heard that it is set around a bookstore that is called Good Books. Guess what my new surname's going to be? Good. Do you see why I waited? Do you get it? Ever since I found out, I was like, this is perfect. I bought this. I think this might actually be the American cover, and I managed to pick it up in TK Maxx for $3.99, and I much prefer this cover to the UK edition. So yeah, it's on the Honeymoon TBR, and hopefully I love it because, like, surely it's meant to be. The next book on my TBR is Our Last Resort by Clemence Michallon. This is a new release. I think this actually only officially came out in August. I have had this for a couple of months as the publisher did send me an early copy, but I thought it would be the perfect holiday read because resort. I am really excited though because I read Clemence Michallon's debut novel, which was called The Quiet Tenant, last year, and I thought it was absolutely incredible. Like, for a debut novel, I couldn't, if you hadn't have told me it was a debut novel, I would have never thought it was, because it was absolutely incredible. The writing, the plot, everything about it. So obviously I'm going into this book with really, really high expectations, and sometimes that's a bad thing, so I need to curb them. And I have seen quite mixed things on this actually, but I'm going into it with an open mind, knowing that I really like Clemence Michallon. So this follows a brother and sister who are called Freida and Gabriel, and 15 years ago they escaped a cult. Love a cult, literally love a cult, one of my favourite tropes. But they escaped this cult and they kind of booked themselves off at this resort to kind of reconnect and get back together and build their relationship back up after they escaped the cult. But then a young woman is found dead, the police are called in, and Freida's brother Gabriel is the #1 suspect. So is he a bit suspicious? This is actually really short. 300 pages. I literally just flick to the end. And you know when you're trying to not read the last page? I've done that so many times and ruined it for myself. I didn't there. 300 pages. Such a good length. How stunning is this copy of Holly Jackson's Not Quite Dead Yet? This is Holly Jackson's first adult book. I love Holly Jackson. I've loved some of her earlier works, and they've always been in the YA genre. This is their first adult release, which has just come out. I'm literally obsessed with those spreadsheets. Is there anything on the naked hardback? Oh my god! That's cool, isn't it? And it's also signed. So this follows a girl called Jet, who is 27 years old, and she has always lived kind of this sheltered life. And then one night on Halloween, she is attacked, brutally attacked. She doesn't know who has done it. She goes to the hospital and they're like, oh shit, you've got a brain aneurysm and you're going to be dead in 7 days. So she's like, right, well, if I've only got 7 days left to live, I need to find out who did this to me. So everybody's a suspect, her whole family, her boyfriend, her ex-best friend, and she is going to use the last 7 days of her life to find out who attacked her and why. I have seen a few reviews of this floating around, and people are saying that it reads more new adult rather than adult. And obviously she's always wrote young adult. So I think she's just chucked a few swear words in there maybe. And then being like, yeah, It's an adult book. I'm sure I actually seen an interview with her saying that she wanted to write in the adult genre so she could swear. And I mean, can relate. Sarah Waters Fingersmith has been on so many of my monthly TBRs and I've just never got to it because I've always just been so intimidated. Like, firstly, it's huge and like, I don't know what. I mean, I've just seen that it's got like 16 chapters in the whole book as well. And that always puts me off reading a book. It's so silly, but it really does. But I'm thinking my honeymoon is going to be the perfect time to read these books because like I am just going to be like lay around a pool all day drinking cocktails with my wife and like not have much else to do. And like I can just like tear through it, read it in one day. That's my plan. My plan is I want to read a book a day. Also, like, it's chunky and the writing is tiny, but this is going to be one of my first book. It's going to be my first book from Sarah Waters. And I know she's a modern classic author, isn't she? Like, her books, I feel like, are going to stand the test of time. And they're set in the Victorian era about lesbians. Something about me is I love the Victorian era. Like, I love reading about it. That's all I know. That cover's a bit spicy, isn't it? It's a bit naughty. It doesn't look it at first glance, but when you look a bit closer, that's a bit spicy. Loads of you keep asking me when the Freida McFadden reading vlog is coming, and I swear it is coming, I promise. And I have put Ward D on my TBR for September. It's no secret that I'm not a Freida McFadden fan. I'm a Freida McFadden muck-hater. And I said that I was going to do like a reading vlog and go into it with a very open mind and read some of her books and give you like my genuine, honest opinion as somebody that doesn't agree with the ethics behind the author. I'm being very careful with what I say here. In order to give the vlog like a fair chance, I didn't just want to read like 4 Freida McFadden books back to back, you know, because I feel like I would get sick of them very quickly. So like I've been spacing it out over like 3 months. I think at this point I've got 2 books filmed and this is going to be the 3rd one that I'm going to put in the vlog. And I actually think this is the one I'm most excited for and one I potentially have like the highest chance of liking because it's set in a hospital in like a mental asylum, like mental wards. I love that. I love that setting in books. So yeah, if there's any Freida McFadden book I'm gonna like, I think it could be this one. Not to speak too soon. So the book follows a girl called Amie who is a trainee doctor, and as part of her training, she has to go around to like different hospital wards and get experience. When she gets put onto Ward D, which is the mental health ward in the hospital. And obviously because it's a mental health unit, the security is really high. And like they're locked in on a night shift, which is like claustrophobic central, really, isn't it? And then patients and staff start to vanish. Sounds a bit creepy, you know, and I'm going to admit it, I'm excited for this one, I am. So I promise I've not forgotten about the vlog. I'm just trying to give it like the fairest chance I possibly can, you know? So stay tuned. I love books about like celebrity culture, reality TV, famous people. So I've got Rumoured, and I'm going to have to hold it weird because this was a proof copy. So the front never shows the name of the book. And I'm always like, why? It makes it so hard to talk about. So like I'm holding it like this, but I will put the cover on the screen. So it's called Rumoured and it's by 2 sisters, Kelly and Christina Mancaruso. So this follows a global pop star whose name is Harlow Hayes. And like she is like a pop star. Taylor Swift, if maybe not Taylor Swift, that's a bit generous, isn't it? But then, during the height of her fame, she is arrested on suspicion of murder. And the blurb says, the world thinks that they know who I am, but they have no idea. So I feel like it's going to be juicy gossip. We all know how I feel about juicy gossip. I actually think this contains like mixed media. Yeah, it does. So it's got like little snippets of like internet extracts, and I love that in books. Like mixed media. I just seen something about Taylor Swift. Like it's got like celeb news articles and like what people are commenting. Oh yeah, I'm really, really excited for this one actually. If you have read any of these books, please let me know. I would absolutely love to know. And that like includes like if you didn't like them either, you know, because sometimes it helps me manage my expectations. If I don't like this next book, I fear my 2 best friends may fall out with me. So Carly from the Pastel Bookshelf and Ashley, who's over on Instagram, their favourite book is The Book of Doors by Gareth Brown. Carly read it first, told us how incredible it was, and then Ashley read it, also fell in love with it. And then when I went to see Carly in Cardiff and we were in Waterstones, I was like, what book would like you make me buy right now? And she picked this one. So I'm scared. Me two besties might fall out with me if I hate it. And when I bought it, I actually did say that I was going to save it for my honeymoon, where I can like fully immerse myself within the story. And like, I feel like it's going to be a book where you're going to want to read big chunks at a time, because this is not a thriller book. I want to say it's fantasy, maybe, because it follows a bookseller called Cassie. And basically, she discovers a book which can take her anywhere. That's my understanding of it. I'm not a big fantasy girly. Like, I struggle with world building. I struggle with like magic systems, trying to understand it. So I feel like if I can fully immerse myself, just knuckle down one day and just read it in one go, I will appreciate it more than if I read it at home and I was only reading it in dribs and drabs. Does that make sense? It's been blurbed by M.W. Craven. And I got an M.W. Craven book coming up, actually. So that's interesting because he is a thriller author. So is Lee Child. So maybe we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right because I'll have no mates left. This is just a little polite request to ask you, if you're not subscribed yet, I would absolutely love to have you here. And like, I am going to be vlogging my honeymoon as well. So like, I can tell you about all of the books that I'm going to be reading, show you what we get up to. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, because it helps me out so much. Thank you, I appreciate you. The next book is a very fancy book because it's gold plated. Have you ever seen a gold plated book before? Because I had not until this arrived on my doorstep. I'm going to hold it this way because it shows what the book is, where this side does not. So this is Adele Park's Our Beautiful Mess. And this is actually gold plated because it's Adele Park's 25th book. That's incredible, isn't it? Adele Parks is a British author that writes very British thrillers. I read my first book from this author, I want to say, was it earlier this year? Could have been last year. It's called First Wife's Shadow, and it was absolutely incredible. I went into it like not really expecting much, but I bloody loved it. So Emma has actually chosen this to be our in-person book club for the month of September. I'm not going to be there because, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I'm going to be on my honeymoon. But I said I'd still read it and I can still like message my thoughts and like she can feed back to the group. I'm leaving it in Emma's capable hands. So this follows Connie, whose daughters are grown up and they have flown the nest, but she's so excited because they're all coming home for like a family gathering. One of her daughters is also bringing her new boyfriend. As soon as Connie sees them, she's like, oh, I've got bad vibes from you, not great vibes. And then her daughter says, oh guys, surprise, I'm pregnant. But like, is Connie just being like a bit of a nightmare mother-in-law, or is her intuition correct? Like, something about Adele Parks is she does domestic thrillers. Like, her domestic thrillers are spot on. And like, I have kind of like gone away from this genre a little bit, and like the plots always sound so basic as well, but I'm confident in Adele Parks and I feel like she's going to deliver, and I'm excited to see as well like what book club think, because we've never read an Adele Parks for book club. I will put like all of the book covers, like the actual covers, up on the screen so you can see them, because I'm aware that I talk with my hands and I'm like this, throwing books around my room. I mentioned at the start of the video that there was another Emily Henry book coming, and it is Great Big Beautiful Life. And I am extra excited for this because I have seen a lot of people criticising this book, but the reason that they're given for criticising it is why I think I'm going to love this book. This is a massive trade paperback as well. Like, I literally love trade paperbacks. You can usually get these in the airport, or when I went to Ireland, that's when I bought these because they sell trade paperbacks too. I'm so excited to go to the airport and do some book shopping. So like, this TBR could like, more could get added depending on what I buy in the airport. So this book follows a man and a woman who are both authors, and they get invited to like this really, really famous woman's house, like elderly woman, to compete for the chance to ghostwrite her story. So like, I feel like it's going to be a little bit of like enemies to lovers, like they're competing, but people are saying that the reason that they don't love this as much is because it's not as romancy as Emily Henry's other books. And that's the reason I think I'm gonna like it, because like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm not a big romance girly, I'm not, but I love Emily Henry's writing. And people have also said that it's very similar to Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which is a bold claim because that is my favourite book of all time. Guys, I just want to say, I'm not taking all of these books in my suitcase, just in case you thought that was the case, because I read all books on my Kindle anyway, so like I don't need to take them all with me. I just have a book buying problem. So like I buy the physical books and then I also buy them on my Kindle. I don't know what to tell you, I've got issues. The next book is another one that I've saved specifically for when I know that I've got a good amount of time to read a good amount, like good chunk of it, and that is Pachinko by Min-Jin Lee. I've had this on my TBR ever since I watched a video with Megs with Books Read This, and she gave it 5 stars, and ever since then I've wanted to read it because the way she spoke about it made me just like want to go and buy it immediately. Listen, I might be a book content creator, but I'm just as influenced as like all of you. I love watching book content creators and like adding so many books to my TBR. Like I'm completely with you guys. So this book starts out in 1911 where we meet our main character called Sunja, who's from Korea, but she is married off to a man in Japan. So she has to go and live in Japan where she knows nobody and like nothing about that part of the world. And the blurb says because of that, her decisions will affect her family throughout decades. And it says that it's spanning nearly 100 years of history. And like, I love it where we follow characters for a huge amount of time and we really get to know them. And I feel like that's what this book is going to be, I hope. Bloody huge though, it's over 500 pages. Like, yeah, chunky. I spoke about 7 Reasons to Murder Your Dinner Guest. I love the title of this book by KJ Whittle in my upcoming book releases for like the last quarter of 2025. And like when I was looking into it and I read the premise of it and I was like, oh my God. That sounds so bloody good. It's given Here One Moment by Liane Moriarty vibes, but like more of a thriller. Like that wasn't really a thriller to me, whereas this sounds like it's going to be like more thrillery. Because this follows 7 strangers who are all invited anonymously to a dinner party. When they get to this dinner party, each of them have a note saying when they are going to die. And obviously they don't take it serious. They're like, all right, yeah, sure, until like it starts happening and those predictions are coming true. So like, what is it? Is somebody like murdering them or is it magical realism? I have no clue and I cannot wait to find out. I don't know if this is a debut author actually. I've never read a book from this author, but yeah, that blurb has got my interest immediately. Now, quite a lot of the books I've spoke about, they're not giving summer vibes, are they? They're really not. And like, I feel like it's quite hard to find thriller books that fit like that summer theme. Is it? Maybe, I don't know. Most of the time, like they're stuck on a desert island and they've got to get off. And like I'm over that trope. Like I've read so many of them. Like that's usually when they talk about summer, that's what it relates to, isn't it? Anyway, I have got one summer thriller and it is Don't Look Back by Jo Spain. Because this is set in the Caribbean. So at least we're getting like summer vibes from one of them. Oh, actually the next book as well. The next book too. So this follows a married couple called Rose and Luke who are off on their honeymoon to the Caribbean. They're spending a week in bliss and like drinking cocktails, having a great time when Rose is like, Luke, I've got a secret to tell you. There's a dead body in our flat back at home. She's like, a man broke into our house and I was terrified, so I killed him. I've just left the body there while we come on our honeymoon. What the bloody hell are we going to do? I hope baby's not getting any ideas. I'll stay in Santorini, no probs. Jo Spain is Emma Reed's crime favourite author. I don't think I've read any of her books. My Audible says I've listened to one, but I can't remember it. So yeah, I'm excited to find out what Emma Reed's crime loves so much about Jo Spain. I couldn't go on my honeymoon and not read The Honeymoon by Kate Gray. Like that feels illegal. This follows a couple who are on their honeymoon, would you believe it, when they meet some other couples and they're all having dinner together, all having drinks, and they didn't expect the night to end up with a dead body. The blurb says, all 4 of you are innocent, aren't you? The honeymoon is over. The nightmare has just begun. We're not putting those vibes out. I feel like that might be bad juju. Nah, it'll be fine. We will not be making any friends on our honeymoon. Okay, guys, have no fear. We're in the final 3. Honestly, I'm confident I'm going to do it. Are you confident in me? Let me know down below. This is another one that I have been saving specifically for September, and it is The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. Jessa Hastings is actually another romance author that I like. That's only just twigged. But like, she writes like toxic love stories. That's what she's known for. Like, they're not all like singing and dancing, like romancy, like happy times. It's like toxic love stories. And her writing is just incredible. Like, you either love or hate Jessa Hastings. I absolutely adore her books. Like the Magnolia Park series are some of my favourite books of all time. This came out a few months ago. She has had another release since this one, but like I said, I've been saving it specifically. This one is a girl from London. Like all of Jessa Hastings books, I feel like follow people from London usually, and like her name is Georgia, and she has just received a phone call that her dad is dead, so she's got to go back to Georgia for her dad's funeral, where there she meets a boy. I've got 2 copies of this book. I've not even read it yet, and I've already got 2 copies. So I've got the trade paperback version, because all my other books from Jessa Hastings are in trade paperback format, so I wanted them to like match, you know, on the shelf. And I've got the hardback copy of it, because it's got the most beautiful end pages I've ever seen. Do you want to see? Like, look at this. What the hell? What the helly? Like, that is beautiful, isn't it? And like the trade paperback didn't come with that, so that's why I've got 2 copies. And the next book I actually don't have a copy of. I know, shock, who am I? But it is M.W. Craven's Black Summer, and this is book 2 in the Tilly and Poe series. This is a series that I fear is going to be my new obsession. Book 7 has just been released, so like now I'm on catch up and I need to get through like all of them so I can get to book 7, because I'm so excited to carry on reading this series. They can all be read as standalones, but like I always feel like, I don't know, I like to read them in order, you know, so that's what I'm going to do. Book 2 of the M.W. Craven series, maybe book 3, who knows. If this isn't a series that's on your radar, essentially we're following Tilly and Poe. Poe is a detective and Tilly works for the National Crime Agency as an analyst, and like they just form the most amazing friendship, and Tilly gives off like Strange Sally Diamond by Liz Nugent vibes. Like, she's a bit socially awkward, and I just love their relationship so much. And the last book I want to speak to you about is a book that I am gonna let my channel members decide. So I don't know which one it is. I'm gonna give 2 options to my channel members. If you're not a member of my channel yet, I would absolutely love to have you over there. I put a link in the description if you want to check it out, but I'm going to give them 2 options of Charlie Donnelly's books, because I read my first Charlie Donnelly book at the start of August and it was incredible. It blew me away. I read it in a reading vlog and I gave it 5 stars, so I'll link that reading vlog if you want to go and see it. And now I just want to read all of his books. So the 2 options I am going to give them are Charlie Donnelly's Don't Believe It and Guess Again. So if you want to have voting powers on which one I am going to be reading, come over and join my channel. I would absolutely love to have you. It's called the Thriller Besties, because thriller, you're all my thriller besties. And that is it, guys. That is the end of this video. A very exciting reading month planned, and probably the most exciting month of my life so far is going to be happening in September. So please make sure you're subscribed so you can come along for the journey with me, and make sure you come back at the end of the month and see how I actually got on with all of these books, and find out all the gossip from my wedding and honeymoon, because of course I'm going to be sharing that with you. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate you so much, and I shall see you next time.